way less than a month now, actually, from XenaCon, and it's time to start getting ready for the convention. Past time, really. But anyway, we're gonna start with the bag. I'm making Gabrielle's saddle bag. This bag is the general shape. So I'm gonna take some fabric and overlay it over the bag. I have this dress that I wore for Aria, and to me it looks very much like a suede. I don't know if it does to you, but to me it does. And it's actually, her bag has a dark suede on it. I did a little test with some fabric paint, and on the camera it's looking black, but in person it does look like a dark brown. So we're just gonna cut out the shape of the bag into this fabric, overlay it, paint the fabric. Gonna do a little test right now to see if this will work. I put this hole puncher on the smallest setting, if it would focus. That's the smallest setting that I have, and I'm gonna see if it'll punch out a little hole into this fabric. Here we go. Did it do anything? Nope. It did actually do something. And that's literally good enough, because I need to put some holes in the fabric to make the strings. Hi, Romeo. So she has some beaded parts that hang off the side of the bag, and I need to attach those, as well as a little crisscross section with some faux leather string. After that's put on, then I have to buy some more belts, more braided belts, because she has a braided belt that crosses the bag like so. It has a little cross section and hangs off a little bit, and then she also has a braided belt as a handle. So we're gonna do all that. I don't have all the materials, so for right now we're just gonna get this skirt and sew it by hand into the shape of this bag. Okay, so I painted the fabric, just waiting for it to dry before I can sew it up, and now I am moving along to the beading. In the meantime, that goes along the side of the purse. So I have some beads, a bunch of beads. Unfortunately, they're not all brown, so I have to thread them up and then paint them brown. For right now, I am dipping them in the brown and hoping that that'll work. And anything that kind of drips off or isn't fully covered, I'll go back in with it afterwards, but that seems to be the quickest thing. So I am just threading this needle part way, slipping the beads on up, 12 beads total. Then I tie up the bottom part, the last bead, tie it around so that it will stay, do a little knot, and then dip it in there. So that's what I'm gonna do. I won't be able to show that though, because I have only one hand, but that's what we're doing. Okay, so you can see how I knotted out that last bead. Then I'm just gonna pull it all to the bottom of the thread so that it's like that, and then just dip it into the paint and then give it a little swirl. Make sure that it coats all of them, and then pull it out. So you see some of them are not fully coated, so then we just go back in Give another swirl. And that's what we want to see. Let the excess drip off into back into the paint bottle. And then I'll leave a good six inches of thread to let it hang dry. So here's a set of them dry. I don't have to do much maintenance, only a couple of spots, but for the most part they came out really well. I lost a couple, some strings got a little tangled, but I'm happy with the result. Don't mind the washing machine going in the background. Hopefully you can hear me good. So I painted the fabric to a darker brown. And initially I was going just to sew the sides of the fabric, just like almost like a sleeve to slip the bag into, but I got lazy and wanted to see if just using some glue would work, and it did. So I used this Beacon 3-in-1 advanced craft glue. I did look up online, since it doesn't say it on the packaging, if it was okay for fabric, and it is. So we just glued it down to two sides, and this is what it's looking like so far. So I didn't get to thrift any belts today, so that's gonna have to wait, but I did, like I showed earlier, got some of the beads done, and the beads do just hang off the side of the bag in different intervals. So that's what we're gonna do now, is stick some of these beads on there before the ends get too tangled up, which a bunch of them did so far, but we're gonna try and fix that as we go along. But yeah, I'm gonna see how I'm gonna attach these beads to the side of the bag. Little trial and error. My initial plan is to sew them on, but I don't know how that's gonna work, so we'll see. Actually, before I put the beads on, I'm gonna go get some leather twine that I have to do the crisscross like stitching that it has, because the beads go in between the crosses. So let's go do that. That's what I was going to do and forgot. Let's go do that now. Craft container. Let's see, where it is. I hope I have some still. I had some at one point. There we go. Yep, still have some left from a different cosplay that I was working on. I went thrifting today and I found this belt, which actually had two pieces hanging. I have no idea how it's supposed to actually be a belt, but I cut them off the loop. Here is one, and what I loved about it is that it had the loose end with the dangling straps, literally like Gabrielle's bag. And I also found this circle scarf for $3. So the thrift store is the point value. That's the belt also costs $3. So yeah, a circle scarf. I cut it in half, and that was enough for the flap. So I already cut it to size. For the flap of the bag, I glued down one strap already, so that's on there. And now I'm just gonna glue down the second one. It's in a crisscross fashion. And then I'll glue down the flap over it. And now pretty much the last thing. Oh wait, I actually have to put a strap on it, but I have that already. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna attach it. I'm thinking circle, you know, those keyring binder things. Thinking of that, and the bag also has like these oval, 4 oval little charms in the corner, so I'm gonna go to Michael's to see if I can find something similar, and then the bag will be done. So yeah, y'all, that's what it's looking like so far. All right, this is what the bag turned out looking like. Like I said, I added the braided belt attached with, that's fibers from my Gabrielle wig, attached with D-rings, and since they were like a bright blue, you can see underneath there, I just threw some twine over it to hide that it was like, you know, bright blue metal. I added the trimming on top like Gabrielle's bag had. This top portion here, the leather stitch work, I didn't actually puncture it through the bag. That would have taken a lot of effort. I literally just cut 2 strips of the leather cord, crisscrossed them, and then just glued a piece here and glued it on the back. It's obviously, you know, not very neat from the back, but nobody's gonna see it. And I just lost the light. Let's do that. Oh. Okay. I was filming with the sun and it just, like, I guess went behind a cloud. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't look great from the back, but it's the front that matters, right? And the same with the side stitching. I just literally just glued it on because I didn't want to go through all the effort of like punching it through the bag. And I didn't get to add the bronze embellishments on the corners because Michael's ended up not having it, but I am gonna keep my eye out to look around. I was super surprised that the beads held up, even though some of the paint you can see scraped off of it. And I'm filming this after the con, by the way, so it held up. I used it all throughout the con. I used it as an actual bag, and that was the reason why I really wanted the structure be an actual purse instead of just sewing this, you know, thin piece of fabric together. I wanted it to be sturdy to be an actual purse, and it worked super well. I used it to hold my scrolls, of course, but also, you know, just all the stuff that I needed every day for the con, and it held up super great. Yeah, so I will be repainting the beads and trying to find a way to make them a little bit more sturdy. I lost a couple. The first, I don't know, 4 on, or 2 on this side, 2 or 3, they came off, don't know where. How did this side hold up? This side held up pretty well. Probably maybe only lost the first row of beads, but yeah, I will definitely add some more of those to the bag, add the little embellishments, but it came out super good, and I'm really happy with it. And as you can see here, I got my pick with Renee in it. It's not my favorite, but it's not my favorite picture, like I said in the vlog, but it's fine. And there goes the bag, and Renee was super happy to hold on to my staff, which is really cute. So that is how I made the bag. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be super happy to answer, you know, talk about the process, clear some things up if you have any questions. I will put how I made the bag and other Xena things in a playlist for y'all. I have how I made the Gabby staff. Up here I have how I made the scrolls, and I do want to actually remake these scrolls. They're not very sturdy. These little bobbleheads, they're actually doll heads. They fell off in transit there. They fell off in transit back. So yeah, I definitely want to make these a little bit more sturdy. And also I was super inspired by Joe, the Aries cosplayer. You can see him on my Instagram. he made a super awesome replica scroll that he gifted to Renee, but I was really inspired by his, so I definitely want to remake these babies. But the playlist on how the video on how I made these is up here on Instagram, and I'll put all of that in a playlist for y'all to check out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.